What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at this 2023 Chevrolet Camaro. This is a ZL1 coupe, finished in shark skin metallic. MSRP is around $70,000 for a coupe like this. So underneath, we can go ahead and pull that hood release and take a look at what is powering this super performance focused muscle car. So if I find the latch under here, underneath the hood, this has a 6.2 liter supercharged 8-cylinder motor. Pumps out 650 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque, sending all the power to the rear wheels through a 10-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 is about 3.4 seconds, and it'll top out around 190 miles per hour. Got a really sharp design to this car, even though this is the outgoing vehicle. Looks like the Camaro might be done for it, but you have a really cool set of headlights sunken into the bodywork, aggressive mesh up in front with the flow tie, and then a huge amounts of openings down below to provide a ton of cooling to the radiators. More openings in the side, LED fog lights down below, massive front splitter, just super aggressive. They don't make a car that looks as aggressive as this. Super cool looking. Sharp lines on the hood with the dome design up on top with ZL1, functional heat extraction vent. Just really nice looking car. Even though it's old, it still is really sweet. Massive set of wheels with Brembo brakes, 6-piston, nice mesh design, and then you can see the sharp body lines all throughout the side. Body color door handle and mirror caps, black trim around the windows, and then a sunroof up on top. Overall, the side profile, pretty cool looking. I like the proportions. Looks like a good size muscle car, sports car. So just really cool sharp lines all throughout it. Wide rear fenders as well to add to that aggression. And then a pedestal spoiler up on top. You can see the Chevy logo in back, blacked out. Nice set of clear LED taillights. And then a set of dual exhaust tips on each side. You have more of that dark color, all of your parking sensors. And overall, it's a great looking car. I still like it. I think a lot of people can admit it's a really good looking performance car. Moving to the interior, there's a button back here. You can easily pop the trunk open. And we have quite a lot of storage in here. Definitely a roomy trunk, not the largest opening, and it is kind of narrow. However, nonetheless, it still is a pretty practical car. And then taking a look back inside now, this one does have the Alcantara seats with those Recaro buckets. And then in back, you can see we have the same Alcantara material, red stitching. There's even a wireless phone charging pad. As you can see, two people, not too comfortably. And let me try to climb in here. It is insanely tight back here. But as I get in, all right, not the greatest. You don't really have any headroom whatsoever at 5'11". So this is for small children, maybe people under 4 feet tall, I would say. But nonetheless, in a pinch, if you need to throw some people in the back, you at least have that capability, and that seat can get out of the way. And then climbing back out, which again, not all too graceful. Yeah, very, very poor back seats, but at least they're there, better than nothing. And then moving to the interior, you have some cool contours throughout it with Alcantara up on top, more Alcantara padding, grab handle, all of your controls, ambient lighting, you can see memory seating, release handle, Bose audio system, and that Camaro badge down below. You do have power controls for the Recaro seats. Nice design for the bolsters. I love the red accents, all the perforations, ZL1 and Recaro. And then going ahead and hopping inside, you have a nice flat bottom steering wheel with more Alcantara. Firing up this muscle car, boy does that sound good. So for the gauge cluster, you can see the tach on the left, speedometer on the right, vitals up on top, and you can configure the screen using this button. So I can scroll through a few different things to see some settings. Scrolling to the left, you have a few more settings you're able to adjust and view all throughout the car. So like how you can see different information for the vitals, which is a really good touch for a car like this. On the steering wheel, you also have some Bluetooth and audio controls, and then a few more controls for cruise control, steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, stalk on the right side for windshield wipers, headlights on the left, and then heads-up display icons over there to adjust. Pretty simple looking dashboard. You're also going to see this black Alcantara material, ambient lighting around the nav screen. On this, you can easily adjust left and right. You have a few different menus that'll pop up, all sorts of different apps and shortcuts. Shortcuts down below. For climate, you can easily make those adjustments. Navigation system, you have your audio and phone integration as well. and a home icon. You also have shortcuts down below. They kind of do the same thing, which is a nice touch to see. And then for all your physical climate controls, we do have them down here, heated and ventilated seating. You can adjust your temperature doing that. It comes up on the screen as well. A few different zone icons. Fan speed is in the center with defrost. And then more of that Alcantara material throughout the shifter. Our drive mode select is right here. You can easily toggle this for all of your different drive modes in the car. That'll adjust quite a lot of the parameters. You can also see we have some leather material right here for your armrest. Opens up with a little bit of space. Ambient lighting for cup holders. And then you can take a look at the glove box. One last look at the interior. Pretty nice design. It's kind of simple, nothing too crazy fancy. However, I still think it's a pretty sporty vehicle to be in. Very hunkered down feeling. You got your sunshade for the glass roof, and then I like the rear view. You have the screen with the camera as well. All right, setting off now in the ZL1. This thing's pretty quick. Yeah, you are definitely in a fast car when you have this much horsepower and torque. The 10-speed, when you're on it too, it does a really good job shifting. It's really quick, super snappy. Obviously, this is gonna outperform the manual transmission in terms of straight line speed, things like that. Most likely track driving is probably a little bit quicker if you are going for lap times. So it's nice to have that type of transmission. I still think 10 speeds is a little bit too much. When you're kind of driving around town, you're not really getting past 6 anyway, so you can use this like it's a 6-speed transmission, which I think gives you a little bit more gears to play with without having to shift a million times. Steering in track mode, this is really heavy. Tight turning circle, wow, that's actually pretty impressive. But I like how this car gives you the mechanical feeling of an old school car. And you can tell once you do hit past 4,000 RPM, the car really starts pulling. Can't go too crazy because, I mean, you will obliterate speed limits in this car all day long. But I do like how when you then toggle the drive modes back into tour mode and automatic, the whole car loosens up. Steering is super lightweight, suspension is much softer and a lot more forgiving, and it's a pretty good daily driver. Honestly, you can daily this, no issues. It's not back-breaking at all. It seems comfortable to sit in. These Recaro seats are fantastic. I fit in them so well. I mean, this is absolutely comfortable. Visibility is a thing you're gonna sacrifice. I mean, you have a very low windshield. It's very small. Mirrors are small as well. Over your left and right shoulders. I mean, the windows are small, so it's kind of hard to see around. I don't see an actual issue with that. I'm used to cars like this. You poke your mirrors out a little bit and you can see behind you fine. And of course, this camera does a really good job helping out. So it just takes a little bit getting used to. Maybe slow speed, like backing up and stuff, it might be a little tight just given the hunker down small windows. But with the camera systems, mirrors good and stuff, it's really all not too crazy. But yeah, normal driving, nice and relaxed, and then this thing really turns into something else when you're in track mode. Everything tightens up. It just feels like a race car on the road, which it truly is. I mean, the ZL1 is a muscle car, but it's also a sports car and one of the best track time cars out there, being a road legal, pretty affordable car, quite honestly, at the end of the day. So it's really nice to see what you get with the ZL1 Camaro. I think they handle amazing. The steering wheel feels so small. You don't have to do that much input, and the car's doing whatever you want. It is really fun. Super tight around turns. And with the supercharged V8, you have instant throttle response, instant power. This car just goes whenever you say to go. This thing does it all. So I like that aspect. The brakes also do a really good job coming to a stop. Obviously, this car is super capable in every way. Sounds pretty good. Pretty sure this is a stocky sauce. We do have a carbon fiber air intake on this one, but it's a fun car to drive. You can thrash it around, you can daily drive it. Not really all too many sacrifices for an ultimate muscle car. And for around 70 grand on the used market, even MSRP was around 70 on this car. You know, it's not that out of reach. It's pretty affordable given the power you get. How many cars have 650 horsepower? And this type of performance, not all too many. So it is definitely fun. Downshifts are pretty responsive as well when you're using the 10 speed. I wouldn't mind it being better. I'm not the biggest fan of this 10-speed. I like a ZF 8-speed a lot better if I'm going torque converter, but nonetheless, this still gives you a lot to offer. Got some twisty turns. We'll feel it out one more time. Track mode is pretty harsh. You know, if you are on not the most perfect surface, it's gonna beat you up a little bit. I feel every bump already. I don't know if the camera will pick up on it, but it really translates to a ton of feedback as a driver to where I really feel every corner of this car. It is definitely fun. Yeah, this thing is so tight. Unlike the Mustang and Challenger, this is a handling car. This car is truly for the track, for the twisties. It's basically kind of on par with a Nissan GTR as far as curb weight goes and the actual performance. While this has more horsepower, it's about the same in speed as the GTR. So really awesome package. I'm a big fan of the ZL1, always have been. Hopefully Chevrolet makes another Camaro. From what I've heard, this is it. They're going away. But this thing is a beast to drive.